I'm Mia, and let's play with some color today. Now I know you may be thinking, oh my god, what do you mean? You usually use colorful eyeshadows. I know. I'm going to do some colors that I don't usually use or would put together. I want to recreate this look because I've been thinking about redoing one of this artist's looks for like a while. I have a lot of looks saved from her. But I think this would be a good use and do something a little outside my comfort zone. And everyone seems to be doing burgundy eyeliner, so yeah, let's get into it. So I'm first going to start off with the Blend Bunny X Mayping Rhode palette. This is the original palette. And I'm going to start off with, some, this is not the right brush. I'm going to start off with some of Veil. And I'm going to kind of press that into a little C shape around my eye. I obviously will start to blend this, but like this is the main shape we want to keep. I had every intention of, not like every intention, I wanted to start this earlier because I might try to get 2 looks done today to start keeping myself ahead of the game, because this is my last normal week of days off because I have no employees starting next week, or coverage, so I need to start now. But no, today is Tuesday, August 18th. My brother turns 18 in 2 days, and that's kind of disgusting, not gonna lie. Like, what do you mean that's a grown man? And I'm gonna blend out with a little bit of Serum, just so I can start to get this. Again, this is gonna be a very tight blend, just kinda. But no, he turns 18 in 2 days. Unfortunately, he's stuck on the truck all day. Or at least half the day. So at least he's getting tip money, and as I told him, like, guilt trip people with that. Be like, oh my god, you know, it's my birthday, but I'm on the truck, blah blah blah. My parents are making me work. I'm like, use that Italian guilt to the best of your abilities. But good news, I did not have to go in last night. And I was actually going to do my makeup last night, but I passed out at like 10 o'clock. I was originally wanting to pass out at like 9, but I'm like, I can't do that, that's embarrassing. So thankfully I didn't. But I very well easily could have, not gonna lie. And then with a large fluffy brush, I'm going to take some of the shade Serpula, and I'm going to use that to blend. Wish I had a slightly smaller fluffy brush. But I'm just going to start to, like, these colors may not end up being exact, but like the vibe definitely is inspired by her. So we're going to do a little bit of this. It's like, it's not like, oh my god, I'm gonna die warm in my room, but like it's a little too warm to justify having a fan on and having that noise in the background. But again, I'm a little toasty. I'll wait for my camera battery to finish charging, or at least give it until I finish my eyeshadow, because this might take a little longer than usual. And then go from there. Then we're gonna use that brush to start blending a little more. You know, this isn't going to be but like hopefully the vibes will still be there. But I'm going to take a little concealer. I say a little because this is almost empty. And I'm just going to very lightly cut a crease. Again, very lightly. Also gonna try to clean that up a little. Just a little. It's funny, 'cause like I have nothing to talk about because it hasn't been a very exciting few weeks or week. Besides the fact that there's shows in November that I really want to see. Well, shows for the fall in New York that I really want to see, but they're not going to be there. Only one of them's still going to be there for my, again, it's not booked because I'm waiting for Black Friday to book my hotel, because that's how I got an $80 hotel room night. For, you know, March last time I went. So I'm gonna wait. But none of the shows that I want to see are gonna be there in March besides one. And I'm like, just gonna figure this out. So I'm like, I don't know, it's irresponsible, but like, I don't know. And I'm gonna take some of the shade Serpula, mixed with a little bit of Velvet and a little bit of Derma. Then we're gonna pack that right there. I know that's a lot to mix just for, you know, one color, but it just wasn't quite right. And I'm now realizing that this is a little more burgundy, but I do like the shadow should have been a little more burgundy, but I do have a plan to get that dealt with. Do not worry. I have a plan. A little bit of a plan, but it's still a plan nonetheless. So we're gonna blend that, again, very carefully. Very, very carefully. And then I'm taking some of the shade Just Derma. And then I'm using that right there. And actually, I'm gonna mix a little bit of damp in there too. I know that's a little weird, but I really need it to be a little lighter and brighter. And then that way I can really get it highlighted. Like, really make sure that those are different colors. And then repeating, get a little more minty almost. And just, it's funny because this is a very fall color story, even before I put everything else that's supposed to be here. And then on a very tiny rounded brush, I'm taking some of the shade Marrow, and I'm gonna start to do that. Again, I will be blending with a different brush, do not worry. This is just, I need the initial colors down before I can start to blend this out. Or so I say. So kind of the same C shape. Bring it underneath. Again, I know this looks whack right now, but trust. And I'm just gonna blend. I cannot look at the camera right now because that is scary. So we're just gonna hope for the best. Flick out. Looks a little patchy. I will go back in with a clean brush. Again, doing slightly different colors than I usually would, so I want to make sure that this is not entirely awful. Hopefully, theoretically. I feel like this is a really small brush to be doing this with, but I don't want to make too many mistakes. Then, this is also Blend Bunny X May Pang. This is the new Fauna palette. I'm going to take some of the shade Placoid and Mantis. So this does not have an empty mirror. It's not going to be the same exact, like lavender, but I don't want to dip into a third palette because this is going to have one more shade that I need before I do my eyeliner. So, again, this is going to be a very soft little highlight. Switch to a slightly larger but still flat-edged brush. I'm so tempted to put this like right here, but no. I do kind of love this like dusty purple though. And then I'm also taking some of the shade Biocro. I know this is like very bright compared to everything, but I want to get a little up on the edges, but it's like not as bright as you'd think it is. It's not as pigmented as I thought it would be initially, so. But then for eyeliner, I have the Urban Decay 24/7 Liquid Stick Retractable Eyeliner in the shade Wine Spell. This was gifted to me. I haven't used the shade, but I really like the regular black one that they have. So I'm just gonna kind of do a normal waterline. I'm gonna extend it out a tiny bit just so you can see a little more. But it's just gonna be primarily a tight line. Gonna do a little up here, a little there. Like I said, the tiny brush that I use for that like burgundy shade, just so I can really blend it up and get some cohesiveness. Tiniest bit. It's not going to be an exact look because I'm really not doing those weird yellow green lashes, and because I don't want to. But again, the vibes, the general color scheme. And we're gonna, again, what I do like about these, even though they're retractable, well, they actually go back down, which a lot of say like clicky lip products, like clicky lip balms, they don't do that. So it's nice actually being able to do that, even if it's only an eyeliner. I know that's bare minimum, but sometimes that's all that it takes. Blend this a little. Alrighty, I'm gonna go find some lashes and probably fix the blend in with shades I already used, but I will be back in a second. Alrighty, I'm back with some lashes on for real this time, because I did start to film this without lashes on, just because I took so long doing other things. I'm like, oh, you know, I took all this time, I must have lashes on. I didn't, but we're moving on, I swear, with lashes. They're my slightly angled ones, so they took a while to get on, but it's fine. Everything's fine. This is from Danessa Myricks Beauty. This is the Yummy Skin 10 out of 10 Barrier Boost Plumpin' Serum. It's funny because, not that I was, okay, technically I was supposed to be on, you know, a manager meeting yesterday at like 4:30, but I never got an email link. And since I don't have access to my work email, I'm like, you know what? This isn't my, like, usually my assistant DM is on top of that. Whatever. Naturally, I just got an email from her to me and the other assistant manager of another store. She's like, oh, since you two weren't on the call yesterday. I'm like, well, I never got an email link. And last I said, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that I wasn't on the call, but I never got, you know, a meeting link, so how am I supposed to join a call with no nothing? But it's basically, oh, we're gonna clean for the next 4 weeks, basically. I'm like, girl, me and what employees? One of them leaves this week, as I'm filming this. He leaves the 21st. He's a baker. My shift lead leaves next weekend when I still have no staff to close, because the other two shift leads I have pre-approved time off because I approved it, because, you know, I'm like, okay, we have an employee and one of them has another job. I'm like, if he works at Fenway, those are pre-scheduled games. Like, that's not something that I can change. The other one has a baby and another job. So I'm like, I can't. What do you want me to do, lady? So, and I feel bad. I feel so bad asking, like, the main location that I've been asking for help, because he's the only person with employees. I'm like, I can't do 5 days of openings and 2 of those days be a double. Just logistically, no. And back-to-back doubles. And then actually, it won't even be back-to-back doubles because I don't have any employees at all starting the weekend after, and that's not even the weekend after, the day after that weekend, because that's when they want to send me out to train as well, with no employees to run a store. But this is from Bubble. This is the Cosmic Silk Hydrating Milky Toner. But no, I did not have to go, ooh, shush, bibble. Oh, that's way too much. But I did not have to go in last night, thank God, because a baker had called out and I couldn't get the other bakers. And I was like, you know what? Like, I know it's a Monday. I'm like, and she's like, it's Monday, it's never that busy. I'm like, I know, but I feel bad you know, having you close by yourself. She's like, I can always see if blah blah can come in after the baseball game. I'm like, I'm like, let me know no later than 8 o'clock. If he responds to you, if you decide you do need help and you want me to come in, blah blah. He's like, I don't want you to come in on your day off, especially after you've been dealing with all the nonsense and doing doubles. I'm like, girl, like legal, like unfortunately it's in my job description, and if you texted the assistant district, she'd be like, well, Mia has to suck it up and make sure her store is able to run. But thankfully, the kid who works at Suffolk, he also was like, oh, if I don't have pre-approved, he's like, if I don't have pre-written days off for Fenway, he's like, put me on the schedule. He's like, I need money, because he's getting a car, he's going on a trip, so I can't do this. I have no employees. I live, you know? But this is from About Face Beauty. This is the Performer Skin Focused Foundation in F2 Olive. I'm going to mix some of this around. And I'm going to put some onto the back of my hand and then apply that with a brush instead of applying it straight to my face. It's funny because even though I don't have, you know, my hotel or my train tickets booked, which I might just do soon because the Amtrak tickets don't usually go on sale for Black Friday, I think. I might buy an Avita ticket for my planned March trip. At least the dates that I plan on going. Because I want to see Avita, like that's my main. But like, I've only been in that theater once. I hate the Winter Theater, the Winter Garden Theater. That's where we saw Death of a Salesman. And to be fair, they're orchestra seats, so that could attribute to it. But orchestra seats do not have any, those seats do not have any rake, and I'm like, wow, this is not great. But, and like, if I go on a weekend, then I'm gonna have to pay the extra prices and blah 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 blah, but they don't do Monday, so I'd have to go Tuesday, or I don't want to do Wednesday because I might just suck it up and go home not early, but actually no, I probably won't, because I like having a guaranteed seat, because like that's the only reason I do not first class, business class, is because I can get, you know, a guaranteed assigned seats. I like a guaranteed assigned seat. So it's just one of those things I'm like, I'm like, because I could leave early at 8:45 in the morning, or I could take a 10 a.m. train for double the price. And I like to be able to be home early enough that I can still do my makeup, which I wanted to do in July, but then paranormal activity happened. But this is from Patrick Ta. This is the Major Skin Soft Blur Brightening Concealer in Soft Neutral, Fair Neutral 2. I know, you're probably real tired of seeing this concealer, but I love it for a glowy foundation. And especially like a lighter, not like a lighter weight foundation, but not so full coverage. So I'm going to blend with the smaller side of my foundation brush. But like, I can't do that store anymore. And again, my district manager was saying that. She's like, you know, I see them, because she's like, you guys need to start cleaning. I'm like, girl, I'm one person. I feel bad asking them to clean because, you know, even though they have more people, it tends to get busier at night. She's like, I look at the camera sometimes. They're not that busy. I'm like, she's like, don't feel bad. You're their boss. I'm like, yeah, I know. But for some of these people, I started off as, you know, shift lead like that. Well, they started off as a shift lead alongside me. I was already a shift lead when they got there. But I'm like, I feel bad. And I'm like, I know I shouldn't feel bad because I'm their boss, but like, I still feel bad asking them to do things and exert themselves, and some of the things not everyone knows how to do, like defrosting and cleaning the freezers. Only I know how to do that. And fun fact, I'm not supposed to be doing that because of my weird chest thing that still isn't healed. Ergo. And then this is from Rhode. This is the Pocket Bronze in the shade Pebble. I've actually really been liking this. It's a little surprising. Not like surprising because I assumed it was going to be the same formula as the blushes, and it is. But just more so the shade, because I was a little doubtful of it. Because they're like, oh, you know, like rosy neutral. It's not that rosy neutral, which is fine. It is a-okay. But I just didn't think that the next shade, like the second lightest shade, would be light enough for me. And I've seen some videos, and I'm like, I don't think that would have been light enough for me. So we're just gonna go, not, I was gonna say super light on the blush doesn't sound right, nor will it be, but like softer tones and not so bam. But just do a little bit of that so I can finish blending. It's funny because I look really shaky in the mirror, but that's because I'm holding the mirror with the same hand as I blend. So that logistics. I'm gonna take a mix of the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Dusty Rose. I'm not applying all of this, I just want to make sure that I have enough for the rest of my face. Duh. And then this is from Glisten Cosmetics. This is the Bloomin' Blush in Orange You Glad. So I'm gonna do a little, not too much in comparison. And then I'm actually gonna mix this in with my finger, that way one color doesn't get absorbed more by the brush than the other does. And we're gonna keep that kinda hopefully high. I really, like, I know I say it, like, I really don't want too much under the eyes this time. Do a little bit on the nose I just did, but we're gonna keep that right there, hopefully. Right. There we go. I'm really itchy at the corner of my nose and my face. I know that's a weird way to describe it, but like where my nostril and the skin of my face meet. Just gonna and then this is from Huda Beauty. This is the Easy Bake Pressed Powder in Sugar Cookie, which is just translucent. Big fluffy brush. We're just gonna do just a good little dusting. And then this is from Kaleidos. This is the Space Age highlighter in the shade Ray Rider. I know, look at me. It's not the pinky one. It's just kind of gold, like a champagne gold, which is better for my skin tone instead of a straight gold, just because I'm so light it just doesn't usually work. And do a little, you know? And then this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the lip liner in the shade Hazelnut, which is very warm toned, which is fine because that's why I want it, so it can go with the cheeks a little more. Ooh, I had a really good dinner last night. We had like little Mediterranean wraps. So good. Also, I have money. I'm just too lazy to switch it from my bank account to from my savings account to my actual bank account, especially because I get paid in like a day and a half. But I'm gonna have to double check. I might have to bring Monster from home tomorrow. It's at that point. And then this is from the Sephora collection. This is the Sheer Shine lipstick in the shade Beige Sparkle. It's funny, I was trying to weigh Bridget earlier, and she doesn't weigh enough to, I hate this and all this, for the scale to register her. So I had to weigh myself, then wait for the scale to reset itself, then I had to go get her, and she would not let me pick her up. Like, she was running around the house with her tail tucked between her legs for some reason. She weighs 10.6 pounds. But I'm like, why are you being like this? Also, I'm gonna go in with a little of the Makeup by Mario Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Pencil in Spiced Chai, just because there's like no definition to this. So, you know, she's giving me all this trouble beforehand, which is really funny because, you know, her favorite thing is being glued to me and being held. So why wouldn't you want that? And the moment I put her down and I go over to the couch, she realized, oh, that wasn't so bad, and I'm gonna spend all my time with you now. And I went, I'm like, girl, where is your logic? I know you don't have much, but still. Alright, I need to go fix my bangs, but I should be back in a second. Alrighty, and this is the finished look. I hate when I have to roll my bangs and then they don't look right. But I'm also trying to clear out some of the piece here so I can't trim it, and it's a mess. But I think this came out better than it started. At least the eyes, because like the base is easy. The bases are easy. Doing a new eye is always a little wonky. But I feel like this is very fall, very, you know, autumn, even though it's still gross and hot in August. But I still can't believe my brother's gonna be 18 in a few days. He wants an American traditional panther on his bicep with his head sticking down, so that way, you know, when he's wearing a short sleeve shirt, which he always does, he never wears a tank top, then you see the head, not a panther butt. I'm like, sounds like a marine tattoo. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do a second look, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah,